You're thinking about buying an electric vehicle, an EV, but still have questions about how and where you're going to be able to charge those vehicles. You might want to know plans to electrify Utah's highways are picking up speed.
And in the near future, you may not even have to stop and get out of your car to charge it. Christina Flores has more in tonight's Eye on Your Money.
Driving an electric car is like game-changing.
Adam Riddell says driving an electric car saves him time.
I come here to the office, I can plug it in.
And money. It costs about $3 to charge.
Not spending a lot of money at the gas pump, it's crazy.
About 5% of all vehicles on U.S. roads are now electric. In Utah, it's about 1%. But UDOT's Lyle McMillan says EVs are hitting high gear.
Since we started tracking the number of electric vehicle registrations, we started in 2015 with just over 1,000 vehicles. Here we are 7 years later, we have 30,000. So we've increased 30-fold in the last 7 years.
Utah and other states are electrifying highways so drivers can easily charge up along the way, much like other drivers fill up at gas stations. Currently, there are 50 fast public charging sites in Utah along highways.
Is it enough for the amount of electric cars on the road?
Not even close.
Through the new bipartisan infrastructure bill, Utah gets $36 million to install more fast chargers. The program is called NEVI, and Phase 1 happens this year.
Our goal is to provide access to electric vehicle owners to fast charge every 50 miles along Utah's interstate highways.
In later phases, chargers will be placed on roads off of major highways. At Utah State University, engineers are going down a different road into the future.
So as the semi comes over these segments, it's actually receiving power from the road.
Professor Regan Zane says this electric semi is literally powered by the road.
Embedded in that pavement are wireless coils that allow us to charge the vehicle while it's operating over this road.
But other than that, it's the same materials, asphalt, same thing.
Other than that, it's the same as a standard road. In fact, we had standard working crews come out here with asphalt and concrete and able to pour this.
The technology on this Utah State University test road is made by a private company. But inside the university's solar-powered Aspire lab, Professor Zane and his team are testing similar technology that would charge passenger vehicles and trucks wirelessly while they are in motion.
So you wouldn't even have to think about charging.
Can you imagine that?
No.
You don't even have to think about where you're charging.
Professor Zane says this technology is doable if it's installed during regular road maintenance on the most traveled sections of highway. His goal is to make it affordable.
If we show, which is entirely our intention, that you could operate these systems at, let's say, half of the cost of total ownership of these vehicles, we believe that that would actually break down the barrier and make it easy for policymakers and investors to say, okay, this makes sense. This is the way to go.
Next year, Professor Zane and his team will test these electric roads and semis in the new inland port on the west side of Salt Lake.
It really makes sense to test it in the area around the inland port because the area is going to be developing. We'll have new infrastructure. We can build this into the infrastructure as they grow. And it's an opportunity to really address the challenge of emissions from trucks. Can you imagine neighborhoods in and around these warehouses and trucking operations? There's no noise and there'll be no emissions.
Christina Flores, KUTV 2 News.